Gordon Pinsent has a reputation in this country as an actor who can really act. Some of his great tales, confessions, and personal peccadillos are wrapped in his memoir called Next. I call it a memoir. It's a autobiography, memoir.
Sure.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You talk about some of your awards. Order of Canada, then Companion Order of Canada, the Draney Award, many prestigious awards. As you grow a little older and you get awards, do you worry it's like too soon? You know, like a goodbye award, when they say lifetime achievement, you think, ooh.
I know. And I think I have 2 of them or something, you know. But yeah, I have a peculiar kind of feeling about awards now, so it's always sort of, is that it, you know? And you haven't been running at that speed. You've been heading onward all the time, and suddenly they give you something, and it does have that feeling of, here it is, Gordon, this is the last, you've been fine, but thank you very much. And I can't really buy into that.
Other than that, well, you always say yes.
Always say yes, yes. And so far so good, I guess, you know. I mean, there's so much more to do, I think. There'll be good things happening tomorrow, maybe. Every day is a surprise.
Why
Charm
not?
always said that. Charm always said, but you don't know. You don't know what's happening tomorrow. I said, yes, but I didn't get that phone call I wanted so badly. And okay, you'll get another phone call instead of that one. You'll be fine.
Well, Charm,
she was so great.
Was so positive with you. What's it like when an actor's married to an actor and then you spawned an actor, Leah Pinsent, you spawned a couple other children, but an actor. So all those actors in one house must have been a little crackers.
Well, they were never in the house at the same time, but yeah, it was quite something. Charm did she was the main lesson for me. She waited for me to grow up, first of all, but she also we saw a taste I saw a taste of her feeling that she was disappointed. Maybe she needed more work as well. So it wasn't just me, and it's an imbalance that really could create a terrible marriage. Not in our case. Charms backed off. She loved anything that was creative. She loved creative people. She always left that door open for positive thinking, and so there was we didn't get that fighting atmosphere, and for that reason, we had other fights, but not that much to do with she and I as competing actors. There was never of that.
Some of the actors I know have a bit of anxiety and go through a little depression at times.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, terrible. Just when I should be satisfied or whatever that I've done okay, and certainly in this country, no, it ain't enough. It ain't enough, and the very idea that the door might close and boom. And the thing is that if a career goes along to a certain point, that's fine. Everything seems kind of natural, and thank you very much, folks. But then, at another age, sort of a space, a period of desert.
Yes.
Is possible, and you're wondering, you're not making as much, you're not in evidence as much as you wanted to be, doing the kind of thing you wanted to be. So material is so hard to come by. You want to try to create it yourself or borrow it or take it from somewhere, and there's always that anxious kind of thing.
And you say to a young producer today, well, I hiked with Marlon Brando and acted with Kathy Bates and Julie Christie.
Yeah.
I mean, surely that should mean something.
I know, yet you don't want to go and knock on doors and say, please, you know, so you stay at home. And I spend a lot of time staying at home and painting and doing other things and waiting for that same sort of recognition to continue. Being in demand is important, and it doesn't matter what age you are.
Painting and writing, and but going back to your beginnings when you played a tree.
I did.
In The Tempest.
Oh, yes.
Things have gotten better.
Yes, things are better. It had lights on it, though, and sometimes they would go on and sometimes they wouldn't. But yes, I was an electrical tree at one time.
Remember when Barbara Walters asked Kate Hepburn, if you were a tree, or a twee, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? I don't remember what Hepburn said. She probably said an oak tree or something.
Did she? Yeah.
I don't know. What kind of tree would you be? Have
I
you
think
thought about
for
it?
some reason I looked up trees and associations with names and people and so on. Turns out that I'm a fir or something. I have no idea why.
No. You acted at Stratford when Bruno Gerussi was at Stratford. Was he doing Romeo? People don't know, many people don't know that he was a Shakespearean actor.
Oh yes, he was indeed. He did Ariel in The Tempest.
And you understudied him, did you not?
yes. I understudied him.
Well, don't understudy him. He's too tough.
I know.
He never gets sick or never got sick.
Never got sick, no. And he always had that sort of, again, that thing of not being quite satisfied with how things were going. But so yes, the gruffness was always there in Bruno. Even when I came up to do a couple of episodes of Beachcombers, we had fine weekends.
I bet you did.
Up at Gibson.
Not jumping out of a plane or anything, no.
No.
Maybe sitting at Molly's Reach.
Molly's Reach. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, Paul Gross, old friend, new friend of yours. You did the pilot Due South with him.
Mm-hmm. I
Who
directed
talked you
Paul
into
once. I directed him once. It was a small series called something Radio, and he was an actor at the time, and I directed him. Later on, he never stopped. I had such admiration. I mean, he wrote while he was playing that Mountie. You know, he was always in the next room coming up with whatever his contribution to each episode going by, and with Paul Haggis and so on. It was a good team. Good team. Due South.
Good show. As you call him in the book, bottomlessly creative.
Oh, very much so. And Leslie Nielsen would come up and do guest shots and so on, bringing that machine with him.
Right, the fart machine?
The fart machine, thank you.
As
And I had a large,
you made me say it.
I had a large speech to deliver once, and I had a scene with Paul, and Leslie is in the background getting off his horse, and this is part of the scene. And of course he would use the machine. And I would say, Leslie, do me a favor, don't, not during the speech. Let me say my thing. I can't get through it if you're going to, oh, thank you, Gordon, yes, I will. And then he would bend down to pick up his stick and nothing. And so it was the silence that made me crack up all over the place. We had good times.
I bet.
Left.
And are there times when you have just dried up on stage that you can remember and recall not so fondly?
I had dries. Some of them were quite masterful. I remember doing The Arms and the Man and had my foot up on a chair and expounding, and I think my line was, give me a man, nothing. And had the nerve then, even then, earlier in my career, to say, line, please, to the girl in the wings. And I said, no, not you, you. And so I was quite in command on stage. I thought I was anyway.
Footlights call to you more than the camera, still. Yay, nay.
Oh, camera.
Camera?
Very much.
Rather than stage?
Yes, I'd rather have camera. I'd rather have the job that takes you in and then kicks you out kind of thing. The contracts for stage are so long, especially in co-productions, where you're working in one city, then possibly 6 months later you're still doing it in another. I don't need those anymore, thank you very much.
And the big budget films, Shipping News,
yeah.
how was that different for you? Dressing room's a little splashier.
A little extra salmon, smoked salmon, and you know, the egg, the roe.
Oh, caviar.
Caviar. Thank you very much.
You're from Newfoundland.
I was so used to it. You know. On the craft table, yes, those were high budget things, and that was always a relief after so much struggling with lesser budgeted shows. You know.
Are you political?
I watched the debate last night, but no, not that much. I played politicians, you know.
Yes, I know. And humorous, Stephen Leacock, wonderful show.
Thank
a great humorist.
Yeah.
But you hung with Pierre Elliott Trudeau a little bit.
Yes.
I've seen a picture of you. I saw it in the book. With you and Pierre.
Yes, I tell you where that came from. I was hosting the Reagan Gala up in Ottawa. And
Premier?
Yeah.
Nova Scotia? That
No,
one?
no,
Or
Reagan.
Ronald Reagan?
No, Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Oh.
And the following morning, I get a call from Trudeau's office saying he'd like you to. He wonders if you'd like to hear the address to the Senate of Reagan. And I said, oh, but I don't. Sure, I'd love to, but I don't have a tie. So he said, it's okay, we'll get you a tie. So I get to the house and up in the speaker's gallery, and I said to his person, I still don't have a tie. She said, he wants to see you anyway. So I went into the Prime Minister's office, and he was just finishing off, getting ready and so on. I said, I don't have a tie. And he said, get Gordon my emergency tie. And this woman brings out this green job with the biggest Windsor knot and spots on it, coffee and things, and a hook, dear, a hook that came right out of, you know, the Biograph Theater in New York City in 1920 or something. It was a terrible tie. And he said, try this. I said, you don't wear this. Yeah, sometimes I come out. All right. So he loaned me his tie. He said, I want it back. So we were at a Genie presentation about 2 months later, and he saw me over heads of people, and he said, where's my tie? I said, you'll get it. So I sent it to him when he brought back the Constitution, and in an envelope saying, it's the least I can do. Here's your tie.
Here you go. Well, there's so many amazing stories. What an amazing life so far.
So far, thank you.
So far. But as you know, you've been everywhere, man. Not quite.
Not quite, no.
How nice to see you.
Fanny, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Gordon Pinsent with George Anthony. It's called Next. Remember, you can join me next on Twitter at Fanny Kiefer, or catch our conversations on YouTube. There will be many more entertaining guests to come. Till then, thanks for watching Shaw TV and being with me today.